Today, we'll listen to a short story, try to answer some questions, and in the end, we'll be able to enjoy the story in Spanish. Are you ready? But first, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's do it.
A Stormy Night, the tale of Mrs. Jenkins and the Lost Boy. In the quiet town of Blackwood, nestled at the edge of a dense forest, there stood a charming, old house known as the Greenwood Manor. A kind woman named Mrs. Jenkins lived there alone with her calico cat, Whiskers.
Where is the Greenwood Manor located? The Greenwood Manor is located in the quiet town of Blackwood, nestled at the edge of a dense forest. Who lives in the Greenwood Manor? Mrs. Jenkins, a kind woman, lives in the Greenwood Manor along with her calico cat, Whiskers.
One stormy evening, while Mrs. Jenkins was comfortably curled up on her cozy armchair by the fireplace, she heard a faint knocking sound at the door. Whiskers, who was usually calm, seemed agitated. Mrs. Jenkins, despite feeling a little anxious, decided to investigate.
What was Mrs. Jenkins doing when she heard the knocking sound? Mrs. Jenkins was curled up on her cozy armchair by the fireplace when she heard the knocking sound. How did Whiskers react to the knocking sound? Whiskers, the cat, seemed agitated by the knocking sound.
She opened the door to find a shivering young boy, soaked to the bone. Without hesitation, she invited him inside, offered him warm clothes and a hot meal. The boy introduced himself as Timmy, who had lost his way home while adventuring in the forest.
Who was at the door? There was a shivering young boy at the door. How did Mrs. Jenkins help the boy? Mrs. Jenkins helped the boy by inviting him inside, offering him warm clothes and a hot meal. What was the boy's name? The boy's name was Timmy.
Touched by his predicament, Mrs. Jenkins decided to help Timmy find his way home when the storm subsided. Despite the troubling situation, they spent the evening playing chess and sharing stories, forming an unexpected friendship.
How did they spend the evening? They spent the evening playing chess and sharing stories. What did Mrs. Jenkins decide to do once the storm subsided? Once the storm subsided, Mrs. Jenkins decided to help Timmy find his way home.
As dawn broke, the storm cleared, and they set out to reunite Timmy with his family. This unexpected visit forged a bond between them that lasted for years, turning a stormy night into a heartwarming memory.
What was the outcome of the unexpected visit? The outcome of the unexpected visit was a lasting bond formed between Mrs. Jenkins and Timmy.
Una noche tormentosa, el cuento de la señora Jenkins y el niño perdido. En el tranquilo pueblo de Blackwood, enclavado al borde de un denso bosque, se encontraba una encantadora y antigua casa conocida como la mansión Greenwood. Una amable mujer llamada señora Jenkins vivía allí sola con su gato calico, Whiskers. Una tarde de tormenta, mientras la señora Jenkins estaba cómodamente acurrucada en su acogedora butaca junto a la chimenea, oyó un leve golpe en la puerta. Whiskers, que solía estar tranquilo, parecía agitado. La señora Jenkins, a pesar de sentirse un poco ansiosa, decidió investigar. Al abrir la puerta, encontró a un joven muchacho temblando de frío, empapado hasta los huesos. Sin dudarlo, lo invitó a entrar, le ofreció ropa seca y una comida caliente. El chico se presentó como Timmy, quien se había perdido mientras exploraba el bosque. Conmovida por su predicamento, la señora Jenkins decidió ayudar a Timmy a encontrar su camino a casa cuando la tormenta amainara. A pesar de la situación preocupante, pasaron la tarde jugando al ajedrez y compartiendo historias, formando una amistad inesperada. Al amanecer, la tormenta se despejó, y se dispusieron a reunir a Timmy con su familia. Esta visita inesperada forjó un vínculo entre ellos que duró años, convirtiendo una noche tormentosa en un recuerdo reconfortante.
If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. See you next time.